Okay, thank you. Good morning. Uh, Today, just we'll go for revision of previous lectures, and after that, we'll go for next uh, medium carbon steel parts and high carbon steel parts. So, yesterday, uh, we have gone through the plain carbon steel. So, as per our iron carbon diagram, at the point of eutectoid, eutectoid means one solid into two solids. Here, ferrite and perlite, and this one solid is austenite. If you observe that previous iron carbon diagram. Now here's just I have taken the eutectoid point. It is classified into two: hypoeutectoid and hypereutectoid. So from 0 to 0.83% carbon, it is called hypoeutectoid, and from this to this, it is called hypereutectoid. Now, from 0 to this, again, it has been classified into three categories. So, here's the 0.3% carbon, it is called low carbon steel. Correct. After this, medium carbon steel, and from here onward, this is the high carbon steel. So, low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, and high carbon steel. These are the three category of plain carbon steel. Low carbon steel, question will be there, how much the carbon percentage? 0.3. Medium carbon 0.3 to 0.6, and 0.6 onward up to 2%. This is called the high carbon steel. Okay. So first we have taken here low carbon steel. Carbon is 0.3. Apart from this, there is also sulfur and phosphorus, and that content is very less, 0.055, less than this. What are the mechanical properties? Ultimate tensile strength, yield strength, elongation. Okay, so these three are the mechanical properties for this steel, and it is also non-hardenable where we can use steel. So normal in our life, grills, channels, bicycle tubes, fan blades, boiler plate, rivet, small screw or nail. For this purpose, we can use low carbon steel. Okay, so up to here, we cleared all these things. Now we will go to the next part, that is the medium carbon steel. Medium carbon steel. Medium carbon. So medium carbon steel, how much the carbon percentage? Very simple. This carbon, it contains 0.3 to 0.6. Okay. In some of the book, it is given 0.7
हेलो सर.
also. Okay. Hello.
हा
Hello.
सर, ते स्क्रीन झूम करायला येत नाही सर, क्लिअर दिसेना.
क्लिअर दिसते नाही काय?
हा, ब्लर व्हायला सर.
ब्लर व्हायला लागलंय काय? थांबा. आता दिसतंय काय? हॅलो. आता दिसतंय का? हॅलो.
दिसतंय.
दिसतंय सर, पण ते नेटवर्क थोडं प्रॉब्लेम आला की परत ब्लर होत आहे परत लगेच.
ते तिथला प्रॉब्लेम असेल तुमच्या ह्याचा. आता हे तर मी पीसी लावलेलं आहे, पीसी मध्ये दिसतंय. आता दिसतंय का बघा? हॅलो.
हा सर.
क्लिअर दिसतंय का आता? इज इट क्लिअर? हॅलो. हॅलो.
येस सर, येस.
Yes, sir.
Now it is clear, no? Okay. So here's the just I okay. So here medium carbon steel, what it contains? Carbon 0.3 to 0.6 percentage. After that, as usual, sulfur phosphorus is there, and that quantity is very less. Okay, maybe 0.055 like this way. And mechanical properties of this type of steel that we'll going to see. Some mechanical property here, the tensile, yield and elongation. Mechanical property here, first ultimate tensile strength. So this is the 70 to 100 kg mm square. Second, yield strength. This is the 56 to 75 kg mm square. Then third, elongations. This is equal to 10 to 18%, and it is hardenable. So let us we consider the low carbon steel, this mechanical property and this mechanical property. Low carbon steel, if we see the low carbon steel here in this side, ultimate tensile strength is up to 56. Yield is 26, elongation is 23. Elongation is more. But if you see in this side, so here medium carbon steel, ultimate tensile strength that is 70 to 100 kgm square. Tensile strength 70 to 100 kg, and yield strength that is 56 to 75, and elongation is 10 to 18. Elongation is very less as compared to our low carbon steel. Now, where we can use this medium carbon steel? Your four-wheelers axle is there, axle. So application here, applications, axles. You might have seen in our four-wheelers. So this is made from medium carbon alloy steel. After that, connecting rod. This is the one of the application of this. Crankshaft used in our four-wheelers. Then turbine rotors. Then gear shaft. Then anchor bolt. So normally it has been used in our trolley, then JCB. That bolt is made from the medium carbon steel. Different types of forks for lifting, crane lifting, we require this. Okay, so here's the medium carbon steel. It is actually 0.3 to 0.6% of carbon. Mechanical property, ultimate tensile strength, yield strength, and elongation. These three you have to remember. It is hardenable, and where we can use this? Here's this we can use for making axles of four-wheelers, connecting rods, crankshaft, turbine rotors, gear shaft, anchor bolt, and fork. So these are the application of the medium carbon steel. Okay. So up to here it is clear about low carbon steel and medium carbon steel. Low carbon steel 0.3% carbon, medium carbon 0.3 to 0.6, and above 0.6 high carbon steel. Okay. So let us we go to the next parts, that is the high carbon steel. In high carbon steel, what should be there? Some mechanical properties and applications. this we'll going to see. Here's the, I will remove this part, and here's I will write high carbon steel. High carbon steel. So whenever word is there, high carbon steel, what should be there? First thing is that is the percentage of carbon. So carbon, how much here? 0.62 up to 2% you can take. Sulfur, phosphorus always be there. And ultimate tensile strength. So here ultimate tensile strength, that is the 50 to 68 kgmm square. Then yield strength, this is equal to 38 to 60 kgmm square. And elongations 12 to 13%, and it is hardenable. Okay. So once again, sir, you have to go to the three parts: low carbon 0.3, medium carbon 0.3 to 0.6, high carbon 0.6 to 2%. After that, you come to next. What is the properties of that? Three property you have to remember: ultimate tensile strength, yield strength, and elongation. Okay. Once you increase the carbon percentage, if you observe the elongation, it will go on decreasing. Correct? And tensile strength also, by increasing carbon percentage, it will get decreased. Okay. So you can compare these three properties of this plain carbon steel. Then next, that is applications, where we can use this. Applications. Here's this we can use for railway rails. Then rock drill. Then circular saw, bend saw, hacksaw, etc. Then different types of dies, press tool dies. Then your press tool dies, then bending dies we can use. Then leaf spring, which is used in our vehicles. This is made from high carbon steel. Then broach, all cutting tools. Which are all cutting tools? For making the threads, we require tap. Correct. To making holes, we require reamers. Then cutting tools, drills, milling cutters. This is made from high carbon steel. Okay. So here is the three types of carbon steel. First, that is the low carbon. Second, that is the medium carbon, and third is high carbon. Okay. So once again, I will repeat, and then we'll go to the next part. That is the importance of the alloying element. So first, low carbon. How much carbon percentage is there? If you observe in the low carbon, that is the 0.3. To the medium carbon, 0.3 to 0.6. After that, you come to the properties. Ultimate tensile strength for low carbon 40 to 50. Yield is there, elongation is there. Similarly, if you see medium carbon steel, ultimate tensile, yield and elongation is there. And after that, high carbon steel, 0.6 to 2%. ultimate tensile is given, yield is given, elongation is given, and after that application. Okay, so here's in this application you have to remember whenever a light load is there, just like our structural steel or structural steel is there, then different types of wires, rivet, boiler plate, fan plate, tube, bicycle, angle, channels, we can use low carbon. High carbons normally used in automobile, railway, correct. Medium carbons, it is also used in automobiles for making axle, connecting rod, crankshaft, turbine blade, gear shaft, anchor bolt, and so on. So these are the three types of plain carbon steel. Okay. So here in this plain carbon steel, alloying elements are very less. Alloying elements are very less. So which are the alloying elements and what is the effect of this? Alloying elements and effect yesterday we have seen here. Alloying elements carbon, nickel, chrome, molybdenum. This if you mix together and go for making a product depends upon the properties of alloying elements. The product property will going to change, and after heat treatment also it will going to change. So within this small the discussions, only main point you have to remember: a plain carbon steel. What is the plain carbon steel and what are the types of plain carbon steel? Like this question is there. Plain carbon steel, it means there is no alloying elements, but what it contains, there is a percentage of carbon, correct? Percentage of carbon. Main alloying elements are very less. Normally sulfur and phosphorus is there, but others, nickel, chrome, molybdenum, titanium, tungsten, these elements are not there. So plain carbon steel, there is no alloying element. Plain carbon steel, there is no alloying element. But in alloying, there is this type of chrome, nickel, molybdenum part will be there. Okay. Now, what is the use of this plain carbon steel? Depends upon the percentage of carbon. Normally, the product around us, wires for low carbon steel, wires are there. Nails, screw, rivet, boiler plate, bicycles, pipes, angle channels, we can make from low carbon steel. Medium carbon steel in our automobiles, four-wheelers, axle, connecting rod, crankshaft. This part we can make. Gear shaft also make. Gear also we can use this material. Anchor bolt, trolley, tractors, we are using this anchor bolt. Different types of forklift for lifting purpose, we can make use of this. Then high carbon steel, this is related to tool. Tool may be different types of press tool dies, bending dies, then cutting tools, taps, drills, then reamers, then milling cutters, leaf spring, hacksaw, bend saw, railway rails also. It is made from the high carbon steel. Rock drill, to crack the rock, drill is required. Compressed ears we have to supply, and to crack that rock, whatever drill is required, that is called the high carbon steel. Okay, so this is about the plain carbon steel. Anybody having any problems? Hello? Up to here it is clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Harsha? Anybody having any problem, you can ask. Hello? Hello? Any questions? No questions. Okay. So in your exam related to this, questions may be like this. Connecting rod is made from, who will give the answer? Connecting rod is made from. Hello?
Medium carbon steel.
Medium carbon.
Okay.
Medium carbon steel.
Very, very nice answer. Drill and milling cutters made from. Drills and milling cutters made from.
Low carbon steel.
No. Whenever cutting part is there, always you have to make high percentage of carbon, because carbons will get more hardness, and once the hardness is more, and then that type of material will cut to other material. Okay, so whatever cutting tool materials are there, maybe single point cutting tools, drill, reamer, tap, hexa, bend saw, whatever cutting tools are there, no, that is made from the high carbon steel. Okay. Now next question, our angle and channels made from. Angle and channels made from.
Low carbon steel.
Very nice answer. Nail and screw made from.
Low carbon.
Nail and low carbon steel. Okay. A crankshaft and connecting rod made from.
Medium carbon steel.
Medium carbon steel.
Very, very nice. Nice. Okay. So how much percentage of carbon in medium plain carbon steel?
0.3 to 0.6.
0.6. Very. Now, plain carbon steel and next is alloy steel. What is the difference? This we're going to discuss. Plain carbon steel, alloying elements are not in this plain carbon steel. What are the alloying elements? The chrome is there, nickel is there, molybdenum is there, okay, vanadium is there, titanium is there. So these are the alloying elements. Okay. So you will not see in this plain carbon steel, but these elements you can see in alloying steel. Okay. Alloy steel means addition of the other element to improve the mechanical property. Alloy steel means what? We have to add this element in the steel to increase the mechanical property. Correct. So your bearing part is there, bearing. Bearing part. You might have seen bearing, roller bearing, needle bearing. Hello? Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So bearing part, this is one example. Bearing, this is made from alloy steel. Okay. Means what it contains? Carbon, this Fe and carbon always be there in this bearing material. In addition to this, we can add this. Okay. So why we are adding this into this? In order to improve the mechanical property. In order to improve the mechanical property. What are the mechanical properties? UTS. What is UTS? What is UTS?
Ultimate tensile strength.
Very nice. This is the one of the mechanical properties. Ultimate tensile strength. YS, yield strength. Hardness. Hardness. Elongations. Okay. So these are the mechanical properties Okay, there are more mechanical property, but here I have written 4 only. In order to improve this mechanical property, there is a need of this alloying. Okay, once we can add this alloying element into this, then it will become alloy steel. Okay, now here we will make the bearing from alloy steel, but not from plain carbon steel. Why this is so? This is very simple answer. Here's whatever the property we will get, these properties is superior than plain carbon steel. This property of alloy steel is superior than plain carbon. Okay, so in your oral, this type of question is there. Why alloy steel are superior to plain carbon steel? The questions will be there. Here I will write the question also. Why alloy steels are superior to plain carbon steel? In your campus interview, in your orals, this type of questions always be there. Okay, so these questions, why alloy steel are superior than plain carbon steel? Very simple thing is there. Alloy steel, these are the alloying elements. If we add into steel, it will become alloy steel. Okay, so let us consider bearing. In order to get the reliability, durability of the bearing, what property we required? We required ultimate tensile strength, yield, hardness, elongation, wear resistance, corrosion resistance. These are the mechanical properties. Okay, so by adding this element into steel, whatever the property we required while making the bearing, this will get more. But these alloying elements are not exist in plain carbon steel. Whatever the property we required for making bearing from plain carbon steel, we will not get it. Okay, so here you have to remember in one sentence why alloy steel is superior than steel. Alloy steel contain alloying element, because of that whatever the mechanical property, it is more than plain carbon steel. Correct. So in one word, mechanical property of alloy steel is more than plain carbon steel. Okay, what is the main difference between alloy steel and plain carbon steel? Who will give the right answer to my questions? What is the main difference between plain carbon steel and alloy steel? Hello? Hello? Roll number 65 is there? Hello? Roll number 65. Absent?
Hello.
Huh? 65 is there?
Hello.
65 numbers. You tell me, what is the main difference between plain carbon and alloy steel? Everything on blackboard. Just I am expecting the right answer from you. Hello? 65 numbers. How much time you will take? Hello? 63 is there? 63 number. Hello?
Yes, sir.
What is the main difference between plain carbon and alloy steel? 63 number. Hello? My screen is visible to you or not? Hello? My screen is visible to you or not? Shall I repeat once again? Hello?
Yes,
Shall
sir.
I
Yes.
repeat? Okay. So plain carbon steel and alloy steel. So this is the alloy steel. This is the alloy steel. Correct? Alloy steel and plain carbon steel. The name is alloy. Alloying element. Which are the alloying elements? Chromium, then nickel, molybdenum, vanadium, titanium, like this. So many alloying elements are there. Now, if we add this alloying element in steel, then it will become alloy steel. Are you getting? Hello? Hello? If
Yes,
we
sir.
add this alloying element in steel, it will become alloy steel. Why there is need to add? Why there is need to add? Very simple answer: to increase the mechanical property. To increase the mechanical property. Which are the mechanical property? Tensile, yield, elongation, hardness, wear resistance, corrosion resistance, abrasive resistance. Whatever resistance are there, all resistance will get increased. But these alloying elements are not exist in plain carbon steel. हे प्लेन कार्बन मध्ये नसतात, असतात पण एकदम सिंपल असतात, त्याचा इफेक्ट होत नाही मेकॅनिकल. पण हे जर इलेमेंट स्टील मध्ये ऍड केलं तर मेकॅनिकल प्रॉपर्टी इम्प्रूव्ह करतात. करेक्ट. सो व्हॉट इज मेन डिफरन्स बिटवीन प्लेन कार्बन अँड alloy steel? Alloy steel is superior than plain carbon steel because of mechanical property. Why the alloy steel is superior than plain carbon steel? Hello? Hello? Now 63 number. Hello? Why alloy steel is superior than plain carbon steel? $65, 55, nobody is there. Hello? 28 number. 28 number. 3 number.
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, sir.
10 number. Hello? 10 number is there. Then who is there? Anybody can give the answer to my question. Why plain carbon steel is superior than alloy steel? Hello? Hello?
More properties of alloy steel.
Mechanical property are more than plain carbon steel. That's why alloy steel is superior than plain carbon. Very simple answer is there. Why you are not able to give? Okay. So let us we go to the next part. stainless steel. Stainless steel. So whatever the atoms used in our home, normally in kitchen, boilers, pressure cookers, and whenever heat affected zone is there, we are using stainless steel. Okay. So you might have heard some name about the stainless steel. Hello. Stainless steel, it is the
Yes, sir.
part of the steel. Now, what are the major things in this stainless steel? This stainless steel, it contains the carbon, but more alloying elements. And because of that, this stainless steel will get more corrosion resistance, wear resistance, and there is no effect of heat. Normally in our kitchen, the different type of pressure cookers, the furnace parts, normally made from stainless steel. Why? Because there is no effect of heat. Wear resistance is not there. Our food processing industry, just like sugar industry, okay, fertilizer industry, okay, chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, whatever the pipes, boiler parts, the flowing pipes, whatever the pipes or whatever things used, that is made from stainless steel, because there is no effect of the environment. If instead of stainless steel, if you use other steel, definitely corrosion will take place. Okay, to avoid these problems, always we have to make use of stainless steel. There is no effect of the environment. There is no effect of the heat, corrosion resistance. These are the major property of stainless steel. Now this stainless steel, it has been classified into three types. This stainless steel, it is classified into three types. Okay, first types, that is the A group. Let us we say A, martensitic stainless steel, then ferritic stainless steel, and third is austenitic stainless steel. Stainless steel, it has been classified into three types: martensitic stainless steel, ferritic stainless steel, and austenitic stainless steel. So depends upon the percentage of carbon, property and application here we're going to see. So martensitic stainless steel, here the carbon, this is equal to 0.15 to 1.2%. Martensitic stainless steel. Ferritic stainless steel, this is a low carbon, 0.082 to 0.2%. And austenitic stainless steel, this is the carbon, this is the 0.2%. So this is the percentage of carbon. Okay, what are major other alloying elements? Chrome 12 to 18% chrome is there in martensitic stainless steel. In ferritic stainless steel, here is ferritic stainless steel chrome, 12 to 26% chrome is there. And here chrome, this is the 16 to 24%. So chromium, this is the major element in the stainless steel. Chromium, this is the major element in a stainless steel. Okay, so here's as per the AISI standard. As per AISI. What is AISI? American Iron and Steel Institute. American Iron and Steel Institute. AISI. American Iron and Steel Institute. The number is given. This number is 400 series. 400 series. If you go in American standards, 400 series means a stainless steel, martensitic stainless steel. And if you go in ferritic, this is also AISI 400 series. But if you go in this austenitic as per SI, this is 300 series. So this type of steel you will have to see in Indian market also. If 400, AISI 400 means martensitic stainless steel or ferritic stainless steel. And AISI 300 means austenitic stainless steel. Okay. Now, what are the properties of this? So properties of this. Martensitic stainless steel, hardness, good hardness. This is one property, hardness. Then wear resistance. This is next property, corrosion